Merry Christmas! Christmas is finally here and it is a lovely part of the year, and I'm really excited about tomorrow. Are you excited? Anyway, as much as we are excited, we cannot forget the fact that this is also going to be a time when people will be meeting other people, and some of them are not so good for us. Some of them might be toxic to us. So today, I'll be helping you to be able to pinpoint some of those behaviors that are actually toxic. Yes. If you do not want to come back from the holidays, you do not want to come back in January feeling drained, feeling tired, feeling like you have come from a place where you were walking barefooted on in luck. I'm just trying to create a scenario where you have come, you know how it is when you're in a toxic relationship, and if you've never been, it looks like you have been shaken and turned upside down. Your hairs are standing all over because it was crazy. So if you do not want to come back looking like that, you need to listen out for what I have to say today. So welcome. My name is Jacinta. I am a toxic relationship coach, and this is what we talk about. All things toxic, as much as we put little snippets here of my life as a mom, as a wife, as a toxic relationship survivor. This is just one of those topics that you need to hear about, especially tomorrow being Christmas. So welcome, karibu. So, you have finally decided that for Christmas, I'm going to spend it with my family. And you might know one or two who are all over your business. You know, we have some of those family members who want to know everything about you. They have all these intrusive questions. They want to know, why don't you have children? Why aren't you married? Why did you break up with your ex? They want to know all these things. And sad enough, they're willing to use some tactics as well. So these tactics are going to be the tactics that I'll be talking to you about, making you aware so that next time they try it, you're ready. You might decide to engage them, or you might decide, no, I'm not going down this road because I know how it goes. If you're involved with a toxic person, chances are that you become very bitter, very angry, very sad, very drained. You cannot win with them. So what is best? Either you walk away from them. Sometimes you might decide to set firm boundaries. These are the ways to deal with a toxic person, yeah? Or just simply remove yourself from the situation, right? So anyway, you have this auntie, uncle, or mother, father, brother, whoever they are, and for some reason, they are telling you things like, if you love me, then you will do this for me. If you love me, then you'll buy this for me. Did you know that that is manipulation? Yes, it is manipulation, and you do not want to be anywhere near a manipulative person, because you will end up doing things that are not good for you, that you do not feel comfortable doing. And this is why I said the way to deal with these sort of things is to either have boundaries where you're saying no, not today. There'll be some who will be asking for things that you do not even have. And I know this because I have been in such gatherings where maybe they are even asking you for money, and you have a budget. Probably you even have your children with you. You know that after this, school fees comes in. If you're in Kenya, you know that school fees is next. You know that there's New Year's. So you have a budget for you. But then probably your mother-in-law, somebody there is manipulating you, trying to tell you how this is the only way you can show her that you love her is by doing this thing, even though it's not comfortable for you. So if that happens, you've got your eye on it and you know how to deal with it. The other thing is learning to say no. Go back to my first point. When they manipulate you, Two is learning to say no. No to things that you're not comfortable with. No to going to places. Sometimes, and I'm sorry to say this, especially in the African culture, because I know I have seen it in a lot of families. Your parent, your whoever wants you to do something that you're not comfortable with. It might even be, I don't know, to give some people in the village money. I don't know, you need to be a member or in the committee of their church where you have to give money, or whether it's just something weird that you yourself you do not have the capacity to do. So if you feel that you're not willing to do this, if you feel that it is not in your capacity to do this, please feel free to say no. Feel free to say no, and know that your boundaries have to actually be maintained no matter the cost. Who you are as a person should not change simply because you're in this space where you have your family and maybe you know that they are pushy. Yeah? So when you see someone pushing, especially your boundaries, trying to overstep them, say no. Say no, and do not explain yourself. I said this in the previous video. It's okay not to explain. It's okay to say a no and not have something following the no, like a because or adding something else. You can simply say no, right? Another way that family members can be toxic is when they're criticizing you. Hey, let me say, some family members will make you feel like you're not worth it. Like you do not even deserve to be existing in this world. They will criticize your choice of a life. Some of them will be like, why do you even not have children? Maybe it's by choice. Some of them will be like, why aren't you married? You must be the problem. Some of them will be like, why don't you have a job? And they do not know how much you have tried, how many jobs you have applied. They do not really understand the battles that you're going through. I know I have had friends who have really struggled with kids, and when you remind them this, you're only making them feel worse about themselves. So when someone is always criticizing you, even how you cook, even how you wear, some of them will criticize everything about your whole entire being. My friend, this is going to be this video should remind you, Jacinta saying something like, this is a sign. This is a toxic person. Let me choose my battles wisely. Either choose to walk out or choose to maintain a clear boundary of, nope, I'm not discussing this. Nope, I do not need to explain my life. Nope, I do not need to explain my decisions or my choices. Yeah, and be very firm about that. Another way that families can be toxic, triangulation. Triangulation where they're involving, you have an issue maybe with your brother, but then your mother is there trying to pull somebody else somewhere, and it's usually like a triangle, right? A pyramid. So you're here, your mother might be here, somebody else might be here. It means that somebody is being pulled to actually come to their side, so that it's if this was an argument between two people, they pull someone else onto their side, so that you're made to see that your choice or your decision, whatever it is that you're arguing about, you're ultimately the loser. And this happens a lot. You will hear family members, when you argue with someone, somebody else calling you, hey, why did you say this and this to someone? And then you're like, the argument was between me and my sister. Why is my mom in the middle of it? I do not like the way my mom told me to do this and this. Why is my brother in the middle of it? This is triangulation. You just have to remove yourself from the triangle, or maintain clear boundaries by saying, no, this is my choice, this is my decision, and this is the way I want my things or my ways governed. Simple and clear. Yeah. Like, and I know that in concern to the triangulation thing, there is the whole flying monkey thing. So we use people like children, where maybe you're not comfortable. Like I said previously, you might decide, rather than putting up with the drama of my family, because I know how, I'm not talking about my family, but I'm just saying, if you were to decide that my family is very chaotic, I know how dramatic they are, I'm not going to be there, so I choose not to go, they might be calling you, telling you, oh, you know, why don't you want your children to know home? Why don't you want your children to come and be with their grandparents? Why doing this and this? They're using something else, which is the flying monkeys, who are your children, to guilt trip you. That is another quality of a toxic person. They'll be trying to use other people or other things to actually make you feel like your decision is not right. The other thing is what I've just talked about, guilt tripping you. You might feel very obligated to. And I know especially this is very common in the African society. You are somehow entitled to pay black tax. I always feel like when you are given a children, you do not look at them as your future. They're not your retirement benefit, in short. They do not owe you. As much as you're thankful that you have these parents, as much as you're thankful that they brought you to life, you do not owe them to be engaging. And I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I do not think that my children owe me anything for me being their mother, for me putting them through school, for me making some sacrifices for them, because they were given to me for a reason, right? So in the same way, if you have a family, parents, uncles who are always reminding you, guilt tripping you by reminding you that, hey, you know, I carried you when you were a baby. You know, I did this for you when you were a child. Well, that does not equate to you having to do all the things that they're asking you to do with no questions asked, because you know what? You're your own individual. You have your own needs. You have your own life. You have bills to pay that are waiting for you. You have a whole entire year waiting for you. You have children that need to go to school the following month. You have loans that you're still maybe taking care of. So please do not be guilt-tripped into making choices or decisions that you're later on going to look back and be like, why did I even do this? Where you're calling your friends, hey, please add me some 2,000 Kenya shillings so that I can get fare to come back home, because you had a budget, but these family members have made you feel like you're obligated to helping them. That is a sign of toxicity, and you can either choose what to do with it. You get to choose what to do with it. So it's your choice. It's your choice, and I hope that you make the right one, especially one that will sit well with you. Yeah. I can talk a whole bunch about toxicity, especially in the African setting, because that is where I am. And I know how sometimes it can be very toxic. But my friend, it's your life. You're the one seated on the driver's seat. You're the one who chooses how people treat you. You're the one who shows them what is agreeable or what you can tolerate and put up with and what you can't. And I think I need to do a full video on if you're going to be introduced to, to the family for the very first time. Because I have had some DMs of women asking me, Jacinta, it's my first time going to meet his family. How should I wear? How should I act? Just be you. You do not need to please anyone. Just do yourself and enjoy this season, because it's a magical season. You have waited for an entire year for Christmas, and here it is. The least that you can do is just have fun and enjoy it. You will not please everyone. Not everyone will like you. And they are simply not going to like you simply because you say yes to them at your own expense. Yeah? So my friends, I just want to say a very big Merry Christmas. Enjoy this season. Enjoy every little bit of it, because 2024 is almost a wrap. Next week, we'll be talking about New Year's resolution. We'll be talking about 2025. We'll never see 2024 again. So make the best out of this month, make the best out of this season, make the best out of this day, because we look back and remember it. Make memories. Be with the people who love you. Don't be with people where you have to really struggle to fit in. Don't be with people who you really have to struggle to show them your worth. And above all, remember, Christ is the reason for the season. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas, and thank you. Bye-bye.